Hi, it's Tiffany and Lorraine Galloway. I'm the host of the Resilient Mother podcast, and I started it because of my own journey to resilience. I've done everything I can to gather resources, true stories, and inspiration, and now I'm bringing that to you. And I have a new co-host with me.
So I'm Catherine Tyson Sewell, and mothers, we are creating the future. So Tiffany, you and I were on this train together, and I'm very excited about bringing amazing women's stories, mothers, help and resources and excitement, and just learning from you and learning from me and learning from all of us, just how to be resilient, how to take care of ourselves, how to take care of our children, because as we say on the Resilient Mother podcast,
happy mothers, happy children, happy homes is the goal. And that
Hi there to everyone out there. This is the Resilient Mother podcast. I am Catherine Tyson Sewell. Are the brains behind this operation, and she's brought me on board. Thank you so much for that. And welcome to all the mothers who've tuned in. Please like and share and follow. We're on YouTube. We're on all of the different social media platforms, but please get the word out. Today, I am so excited to be chatting with this amazing woman that I literally found on Instagram by chance and started following her. And I'm just so excited about the yeses that I keep getting because God is so good and I just get the yes. And thank you for the yes. Miss Sheila Agnew McCoy, welcome to the Resilient Mother podcast. How are you today?
I am fine, and thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here, and nice to meet you as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying yes. Miss Sheila, I have been following you it's been a few years now because time just seems to be flying somehow. And I think I ran upon you when I saw another, I think it was an over 70 person, Chef Babette. Are you familiar with Chef Babette?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
So she's an over 75, fit and fabulous. And so I was kind of in that realm. And then I ran upon your stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, these daily inspirational messages from you ladies over 70 was just everything that I needed at that time in my life, because I was over 50 and I was starting to feel, old and a mess and just like, life is over and, you've enjoyed your youth and whatever, life is for the young. And then I run into these over 70 ladies that are young and fabulous and amazing. And you've inspired me every single day since then. So I wanted to share you with this audience because we need some of that. We need a lot of that every day. So thank you so much for that.
Yes, and we are not young, but we're youthful. And we're enjoying the youthfulness of our lives. And that's really what it is. And I tell people we're not trying to be young. We're just trying to have fun with our lives, So yes,
absolutely. And that's important. I think that's important to establish that because, young people sometimes would kind of try to say that older people are trying to be young. It's like, no, we've been there. We've already done that. So we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to embrace and enjoy our life where we are. So whatever stage we're at, we're just trying to embrace and enjoy that. And I love that because, the days are gone when older women just kind of sit in a corner and, just, I don't know, do knit or something, Those days are over. So, and I'm excited about that.
Yes, it is. Oh, and I mean, I just tell people, I had someone send me a message once that says, what happened to Big Mama?
Big Mama is still cooking.
Right. She just has a new apron, a new attitude, and a new way of doing things. And I told him, Big Mama does not live here anymore.
Exactly.
So it's just, people are just living life. And it's okay. It's okay to have fun and and to enjoy yourself. You know, it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that because I have to remind my older children, I have to remind them of my age sometimes because they'll say, "Mommy, you look so good." We forget how old you are. I'm like, "Look, I'm 57 years old. You got to take time with me. I'm not going to remember everything."
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of on that side. Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm loving that. You're a mother. This podcast is for mothers. You're a
Yes.
mother on the other side. I say that about, women that are over a certain age. We're mothering different now because we're mothering grown children. Some of us have started over. So we're kind of in the middle with that. But you're a mother. You're also a cancer survivor. You're an influencer. At your age, you're an influencer, which is amazing. That's a big buzzword. And you're just an inspiration for women over 50, 60, and 70. So, tell us a little bit about your journey to getting here.
Well, I'm a mother, a grandmother, and now a great grandmother of a 2-year-old. And it's been a journey. It's been a great journey getting to this point. But what I've always had was I just always felt like, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to be me, and I'm just going to do my thing. I've always had that kind of energy. And really, it's just something that was always in me. But I decided that I wasn't going to let age define me, and I was going to define how I age. And I've been on this kick a long time. Someone asked me, "Well, how long have you been on this age thing?" And I was like, "Girl, I'm 73. I've been on it a long time." Like 30 years I've been talking about this, and I've been moving up to this point. So it's not like I just jumped on the train.
Yeah.
I've been writing about it. I've been doing workshops, seminars. I've had women's expos and everything. So it's always been something that's been on the forefront of my my life. In my late 30s, I started thinking about things like menopause because I read about it and it scared me to death. I'm like, oh my God, this is something that's going to happen to me. So I started thinking about health, and started changing some of the things that I did, like exercise and things like that. So I've been on the track a long time, and it's just to this point where I got on social media initially because I wanted to motivate and inspire people, and it just blossomed into other things. Sometimes I work out, sometimes I dance, sometimes I give motivational talks. So I do it all, but mostly it's about health and fitness.
Started actually just reading your resume a little bit, or your bio. I saw that you started being a personal trainer at 65. Is that the age that you started to officially be a personal trainer?
Yes. I got certified as a personal trainer with emphasis on senior and women's fitness and corrective exercise. And that's 65. And I'm now 73. So I've been doing it. Well, now I'm 73 now.
Okay.
But I started as a certified personal trainer at 65 because I saw a gap in training for older adults, because I would always go to the gym. No matter where I am, I'm going to find a gym, or I'm going to walk, I'm going to do something. And I guess a young trainer there saw me, and he said, you would be good as a senior fitness specialist. And I was like, really? He said, yeah. And it kind of fit into what I was doing. I just finished working on a project for a company over 40 females. And then I wrote a book about over 40, being over 40. So it fit into what I was doing anyway, my life anyway. And so I just got certified. And I worked in the gym for several years, up until 2 years ago when my mother-in-law got sick. And, we took care of her. And then now I'm doing caregiving for my mom. So I don't like to really have my people waiting on me for too long. So I'm not officially in the gym now, but I still do things online and still motivate people through my fitness training.
Started, yeah, and I think what I love about your, following you and your page, your Instagram, primarily, is what I see you on. I love the fact that you do very realistic things in terms of fitness. So it's not like, I mean, Chef Babette's a beast, and like I want to be like her when I grow up, type of thing. But I right now, I was gonna break something. I was gonna pull every muscle in my body. So to see the things that you're doing is so realistic, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like simple things, like you said, you can dance, you can do some light weights, you can do some stretches, you can just stay fit. I think that's, you walk. I think I've seen you walk, kind of in like this beautiful foresty area or something, like where you live looks amazing. And so it's really just getting out, into the fresh air with the sunshine and just moving your body. I love that.
And that's the key. That's the key, is movement. And I tell people that, so you have to look at social media as a couple of different ways, and everything is not for everyone. Everyone cannot do a lot of the things that some people do. So I know you got a lot of people on there doing workouts and things of that sort. And I think that's good, but I think that that's not for everyone. So what my thing is I like to do basic things that anyone could do if they wanted to. I've had people that DM me and confide in me that they're struggling with being in a wheelchair, or they're not able to walk or stand for long distances. And so you don't really know who you're talking to when you're online. So I try to focus on, I try to keep an even balance.
Right.
There are things that I can't do that I don't want to do too, because I feel like stay in your lane. Okay. But yeah, I when I think about those people who they're going through some kind of physical problem or physical challenge. And so I try to reach all of the people, all of those different things that people may be going through, because I'm also a certified corrective specialist.
And that's great. And I feel that.
Yeah. And I try to, if you have a disease such as myself, you mentioned that I was a breast cancer survivor. I am a going on 8-year breast cancer survivor. And what going through that, of course, it's difficult to hear that word from anyone. But I decided to, like my agent, I decided I wasn't going to let the cancer define me. I, like everybody else, I, was nervous about it. I still, try to keep in mind that those kind of things can happen again, but I don't let it define my life. And I try to do things like take care of my body, because you can't determine what may happen to you. Cancer doesn't have a zip code, or it doesn't, have a status. It can hit anyone. So you just want to be prepared for some of those things. It doesn't have to be cancer. It could be diabetes. It could be heart disease. You want to prepare your body. So if something does happen, you'll be able to handle it a little bit better and get through it better, because I'm going to say that we're all going to get through it. We just have to keep going and, do the best we can. And the best we can is still try to keep up with your life if you can. But if you can't, there are people out there to motivate and inspire you. I just talked to a lady 2 days ago who was having some difficulty with, struggling with cancer. And those kind of people reach out to me for a reason. And I'm happy to be able to, I'm not saying I give them medical advice, but I'm happy to be able to be there for them. Or anyone. I don't have to even know you, Right. And so that's what I think about. That's the positive thing about social media.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't know each other, and I feel like I've known you my whole life. And I feel like, I can look to you for advice. I know that I can go to your page and I can be inspired. I mean, literally, I saw you dancing like it was in a town, like you said, it was some tree lighting or something. And I saw you there dancing on, up and down the stairs. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like, like that was just crazy. For me, that helped me so much, because I might have been in a rut that day. You know, like what are you doing in a rut? You get out of that rut, and Sheila's out there dancing she's out somewhere dancing. So stop it.
Dancing.
So yeah, you're right.
And I like
for us.
music. I was just it was just such a great spirit. I mean, I'm like anyone else. I have difficult times as well, but it was just such a great spirited event. And I just felt like, people were around, and families and people and music. And the lady that was singing, when I was dancing, I did not even realize it until I went close to the stage that she actually was an Instagram friend that I had not met. And I was like, oh my God, I'm up here dancing to your music, to your singing. And so it was just one of those things. I love to I'm not a great dancer and thing, but I just like to move with the spirit. And the key is moving. You want to move your body. Even if you're sitting in a chair, move your legs, move your arms, but movement is the key.
Yeah, keep it moving, literally and figuratively. Just keep it moving.
Keep it moving. If you can move something, and
this month we're discussing
do.
Resistance versus resilience,
and you talk about resilience and reinventing your life and reinventing things that throughout your life. So each part of your life is a reinvention process, because no one would have told me I would be doing this today. I would never have thought about it, even though I've always incorporated as an adult. People would say, well, weren't you an athlete in high school? I'm like, no, I didn't even like going to the gym and none of that stuff. But as an adult, I've been into fitness, So, we just have to keep moving throughout our life and turning the wheels. And as the wheels turn, we just have to keep going with the wheels as they turn.
You're so right. I agree. I agree 100%, because, I was saying this to somebody the other day. I was saying, the 20-year-old me was not the 30-year-old me. The 30-year-old me was not the 40-year-old me. And this 50 something year old me is not any of those ladies. Like there are parts of her that stay with me. But as I grow, she has to grow. As I change, she has to change. So the stuff I might have put up with when I was 20, 30, 40, I'm not doing it now. So you know what I mean? Like, it's just the things that I wanted, the things that I needed, that those stages in my life I don't need now. So you're absolutely right to continue to reinvent yourself, to continue to, to just evolve and grow and embrace it all and live.
Right. And you just said, like, each decade, you should be a changed person. Each decade, if you're 40, you shouldn't be doing, and I don't mean you can't enjoy some of the things, but you shouldn't be making the decisions you made at 21. And we could look back on our lives and we would say, if I could have, would have, should have. But the real deal is you're just making changes as you go along. So each time is a process. Most of the things that I've done as an adult, the only thing that I've done as an adult that I said I wanted to do as a teenager was on my own business. Other than that, everything that I've done is nothing that I said, oh, I just wanted to open up a party supply store, which is what I did in 1985. And that just happened, and I just jumped on the opportunity. So you have to prepare yourself for the things that you want in life as well. I prepared myself with education and going to workshops and seminars for each level, even though I did not realize that I would be doing some of the things that I've done over the years. But you still prepare yourself for life. So some of the things that you learned at 21, you may be experiencing the results of some of those things now.
Your excitement, it should be about facing the challenges head on. It should be about always having hope until the last breath, until God has blessed you, until he's given you all of that life. You've taken care of it. You've been a great steward of your body, good steward of your mind. And then when your time has come to an end, it's come to an end, but it's not with any regrets. It's not with holding back. And I really love that because it absolutely is true. For instance, I'll say this to any young woman that's listening or watching this. When I was in my 20s, if a guy said he was going to call me and he didn't call me back, I was like, oh, maybe he was busy, and then he'd call me, or he didn't call me again in 3 days. And then a week later, he'd say, hey, you want to go out? I might go out with him. Now, if that happened, which I'm happily married now, thankfully, but when I met my husband, and I think you and I share that as well, I met my husband when I was on the cusp of 50. And honestly, like one of the things that I said that I was looking for is a man who was true to his word. If he said he's going to call, he's going to call. And if he doesn't call, he's going to tell you why he didn't call. But dishonesty was so important to me. So as a 50-year-old, you don't call me back, you're not calling me back. Period. Oh, and so there's a difference between that 20-year-old girl who was still hopeful, but sorry?
No, I was saying, you said, is this the phone
what
call
was that?
from 3 days ago? Click. I agree with you. I came
not the same. You called the wrong number.
Right.
You called the wrong number. Exactly. Like exactly. And I think for me, I would love for 20 something year old girls to get it before they turn 50. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say there's a thing going on. As a matter of fact, I'm doing something, I think Monday or something like that, with a group of women about dating after 50. And there are amazingly large number of women in their 50s that are not dating. And there are a lot of different reasons why they're not. Some of it is they're widowed. Some of them divorced. Some of them just can't seem to find love. But the thing about it is, you mentioned the word about hope, and that we really have to always have hope. And even if marriage is not in the picture for you, and dating might not be in the picture for you right now, you never give up the hope that things can happen. And the people that are young now that may be watching this, 20s and 30s, and may be caught up in that. They have different things going on now. Like someone told me, situationship. And I'm like, what the heck is a situationship? It's a relationship. That's what you all need to focus on, building a relationship and not a situation. You want a relationship. So don't get caught up in those things that could prevent you from having good relationships. You don't want to be in a situation. You want to be in a relationship. So those are things that you have to look at that make it make sense. If it doesn't make sense, and I mean, I got friends that are 60 that are still not really there when it comes to, selecting and making right choices with dating and people. But I've also have friends that are 60 and 70 that are doing quite well on the dating scene. So, it's about choices and making the right choices and not staying too late, and too long.
Yeah. Yes. And being happy enough with yourself, to honor yourself enough that if it's not right, then it's okay for me to be alone until it's right. And not being so afraid of being alone that you're holding on to junk, or you're holding on to stuff that's not serving you. You're holding on to stuff that's not honoring you, because that's important, Right. And this is a part of being resilient as well, as a woman, and at whatever stage you're at. And I think that that's important, making those lists for your life, just for your dreams. If you have dreams, like start writing them down, start thinking about them. Start thinking about what's the next step. What do I need to do to make this dream a reality, and not be so focused on, finding someone per se. If we're talking about love, because a situationship, whether people really believe it or not, you're holding on to something, and as long as your hand is full, you won't have more room for anything good. So you got to let that out in order for something good to come into it.
Right. And another thing, I don't know how we really got on the subject of dating. I think I brought it up. But the other thing with that is it's okay. It's okay to date without having to fall in love. it's okay to go on a nice date and have dinner or go to a movie or gala or whatever. People don't, they say they don't want to do that because they're not into the person. Well, who said that dating you have to be into a person? The purpose of it is to enjoy yourself. It's a process of getting to know a person. And that person you think you don't have a connection with could be the person you have a connection with. But you can't just flat out say, oh, I don't like the way he looks, or oh, he's just not doing it for me. But you at home, sitting there watching holiday movies of people that are doing with each other. So it's nothing wrong with that, because I watch holiday movies too. But I'm saying that don't limit yourself from having a good time because you don't feel that clean for someone at that point. Because it's not about falling in love. It's about just enjoying yourself, having a nice conversation, being able to put on a cute little dress or suit for a man, and just going out.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Get out of your house. Like I always say that. Like I say that, even to my husband, like, when we first met, like my dating life was not bad. My dating life was amazing. I went to nice places. I ate beautiful food that looked fabulous. I was treated great. And I can say yes or no. I don't have to go with anything that you're suggesting. And I go home to my house and, like my dating life was great. So, like you said, it doesn't have to be a love connection. If you don't have a love connection, you're not going to go anywhere. Because like you said, what's the alternative? You're sitting on your couch. And to me, that is really owning your life, and I feel like everything that we're talking about right now is just how you've embraced your life, how you've owned it, how you've owned every single stage of it. That's so important. And I think when you do that you do put yourself in line for finding love after 50, for instance, because you're not kind of like, you got to have this and you got to have that and you got to have this. It's like, no, just flow, right? Just know what you're about. And you're flowing with your life. And I think everything about your story, everything about what you represent is really about that, like you said, you're not young, but you're youthful. And that's what's important. And for me, because that you're not walking around like some old lady. And where's that going to go? Like, just be happy, be hopeful. Embrace it all. Be thankful for every day, thankful for every moment. I literally say, if I'm drinking a cup of coffee, I'm like, I'm thankful for this cup of coffee. This is amazing.
Right. Yes. Thankful.
Gratitude like that just kind of brings blessings to you.
Right. And you have to really be thankful for what you have. And I really also wanted to say, because I know you have housewives that listen to your program and everything, that if your husband is not on the same page with dating and going out, date yourself and go out. And some of the things that I like to do, my husband doesn't like to do. And before COVID, I had a standing date with myself. On Tuesdays, I would go to the matinee. It would be maybe 10 or 12 people in the show, eat my little children's popcorn and enjoy a movie. That was something I did. And
nice.
and my husband may not have wanted to see that movie, but I did. So sometimes, it's okay to date yourself, even if you say it's okay to date yourself, because we just have to take one step to make ourselves happy. It doesn't have to be something big and outstanding. It just has to be step by step by step. And we will find ourselves in a happy situation, and it does. Other people will not make us happy. We have to start within for ourselves.
Thank you so much for joining me on the Resilient Mother podcast. Ladies, if you've been enjoying this, don't go anywhere, because next week we're going to just bring back a part 2 because Miss Sheila has just too much. She has too much for me to talk about that we cannot cover it right now. But I'm mindful of everybody's time, and I know mamas are busy and we got lives to live, and so we want to give you just enough, for you to digest, and then we move on. But thank you so much. Remember to live your life to the fullest. every day, unapologetically thankful for everything. Miss Sheila Agnew McCoy, you are the epitome for me of happiness and self-fulfillment and reinventing yourself every single day. 73, please, where? No, never. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you for joining us today. Please don't forget to subscribe so we can share this message. We are a worldwide podcast with guests all around the world, and we want to continue to grow this community. You can find us on socials. You could also be a guest. Look for that link below if you'd be interested in being a guest on the podcast. If you know a sponsor or would like to be a sponsor, please reach out to me or Catherine as well.
Sure. We want you all on this journey. We want to hear your stories. We want to share your stories. We want to gain strength from each other because together we're stronger. And to never forget the blessing of being a mother and what we're creating. We're creating the future every single day of our lives. So get on this train with us and let's do this thing, moms.
I believe in you. Believe in yourself. God bless. And we'll see you around. Take care.